extended stay in Vigo, which gave the kids a chance to learn a new skill, and Alfie's was rollerblading. So this is Alfie's birthday lunch on the beach in Vigo, where we're going to try out the water scooter, which might work, we might not, and we're going to eat quiche and we're going to have fun. We also built a sandcastle.
Out here to try and get the ball when it goes in the water, and nothing has happened yet. Nothing has happened yet. They're both being lifted out the water because we need to repair something.
In the last episode, you may remember we had a bit of a leak, so we had to get Cloud Jumper out of the water to replace the stern gland. Vigo was the place for
right.
that.
I just thought I'd take a little bit of film, a bit coming up. But at the bottom doesn't look too bad actually. It's just dirt, I mean dirt you mean, yeah. Well, yeah. Strange sight to see. Hopefully we'll sort the leak out and then we'll be transatlantic ready.
Orca ready.
Well, the stern gland was replaced and thankfully the leak was fixed, so we were all ready to head out. We bought 50 metres of new chain and decided to go and try it out in an anchorage down in Bayona. Having finally got some new anchor chain, we thought we'd go off to Bayona and try it out. And it was a lovely day for sailing, so we sailed. Some of us were sailing, some of us were just still playing in the cabin, but at least they've braced themselves, huh?
I don't need
You comfy? Oh, you don't need to. Oh, there you go. A nice little afternoon sail. It takes about 2 hours to get to Bayona. Hopefully we can have a nice night in the anchorage there. So we sailed in towards Bayona, and basically when we got there we had a quick look at the anchorage. We sailed in from this direction. We just came in and anchored right about here. It was pretty dark because we got there in the evening, and we realised after we got the anchor in and set nicely that there was this rock quite close to where we'd anchored. It was too late to do anything about it, so we just made dinner and went to bed. But we kept the anchor monitor on, and I have to say I didn't sleep quite so well as I'd have liked to that night. Well, we've made it as far as Bayona. We're in a very nice marina here in Bayona, which is well protected. It's going to be a bit of heavy wind today, and the anchorage was going to be quite lumpy, so here we are. And then tomorrow, Pavoa de Varzim. We still don't know how to pronounce that. Hopefully we'll be able to have a sail without anybody getting seasick, although so far, unfortunately, every single time we've sailed since we've got to Spain, Rose has managed to be seasick, which is proving to be a bit rubbish for her. I'm really hoping that she can get over it. I'll try and give her some medicine tomorrow anyway. Fingers crossed. Go!
There's a miniature castle next to the big castle, and the miniature castle is on the rocks.
And this is just leaving Bayona on the 1st of October!
Hey.
Dun dun dun!
Wait, it's the 1st of October?
It's the 1st of October!
It's going to come out.
Is it?
Yes!
Oh well.
You know, well, not, it's not today, but it's going to come out
Coming soon.
Hooray! It's the 17th!
Okay.
There was no wind, it was beautifully flat, which meant that we'd be able to spot the orcas if they showed up. this point, I need to explain why it is that we're worried about orcas. On our journey down into Spain, there was no problem. But once we entered Spain, we found people were talking about boats being attacked by orca. We found these maps. These red symbols are where yachts have been attacked by orca in this very season. And the orca seem to like to come and munch on your rudder. So we were very cautious coming down the coast, and every time we sailed, we were keeping a very good lookout to see any sign of any big black fins coming. There was only 2 orcas, only a pair, but they were very wide-ranging, as you can see from the map. And on this next sail, from Bayona down the coast into Portugal, the day before we set off, we ran into another boat who had been attacked and had their rudder completely stripped of all of its glass fibre, leaving only a skeleton. So we were really very worried on this trip that we might run into these rather frolicsome cetaceans. So this is us leaving Spain, which is over there, and entering Portugal, which is just here. So all this is Portugal here, and all of that is Spain there. And we've just put up our Portuguese courtesy flag, which is not flying because there's no wind really. So country number 3. Well, if you count the UK as country number 1 now.
I am currently eating my favourite fruit snack, Cheerios.
Hooray! The great thing about sailing is we can actually hear the audiobooks. Got to watch out for these boys. Probably lobster pots. They're not quite so scary when you're sailing. Wind, hardly any, a little bit, but we're still motoring to make up our speed. It's been a very nice sail, and there have been no orcas so far. Oh, we're so desperate for speed, we're adding sails. This one started to fray quite badly. Ah. You end up with this ridiculous amount of So this is why we're not sailing today. Oh. Phoenix, the video game. Uncle Robin would know this. Right, there's the cable car. Shall we go check it out?
Yes.
What do you think, Rose?
It's loud and I like it.
We're going backwards.
We're going forward.
And we are in the cable cart in Portugal. Lovely sunny day. Our children have grown third eyes.
Spawned a couple of aliens. After Pavoa, we set off for Aveiro, or is it Aveiro? I still can't remember.
I know. Dad can speed it up on the video.
What are you doing exercising?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's got the stronger legs?
Both, we both bend the legs and we have to straighten them.
Oh!
No, you can't.
Well, we've left Pavoa's of Arzim. We're heading to the little town of Aveiro, which is some kind of big lagoon, really. And we've got to navigate kind of an interesting canal to get into the little dock, which is a yacht club dock when we get there. We've been sailing goose-winged all day, like this, with our head sail poled out. It's gone pretty well, but the wind's dropping, so we've got a motor on now, because we want to get there before it gets dark. Feels a bit like we're running from the zombies in Minecraft or something. We've got dolphins escorting us into Aveiro. We made it as far as the entrance to the Aveiro Canal, just about sunset, and so we set about heading on in. This didn't quite go to plan. Although the boat's moving a lot, we're not actually managing to go very fast past the harbour wall here. As it turns out, there was a 5.5 knot current coming out of the harbour, and we can really only use 6 knots at absolute maximum. It took a long time to get in. It got darker and darker, and this is our nightmare, coming into unfamiliar harbours in the dark. Not fun. Eventually we got past the narrowest and fastest part of the current and began to make some progress up the canal in the dark. We boobed and came into a viro. Unfortunately, what with it being practically a spring tide, the current was so strong we ended up doing only about half a knot for the first mile or so into the canal, and that took us a while. So we're arriving about 10 o'clock now, well 9:30, so coming into an unknown dock in the dark against a current which is still running about 1.7 knots behind us. So this is a bit of an experience.
We did eventually make it in, and Avira turned out to be a really nice place. We only had one day to explore, but it was kind of like Portuguese Venice.
So next time we'll continue to explore Portugal and maybe even head as far as the Canary Islands.